I welcome all of you, friends, to this Sunday session. Since it's a very small meeting, only for 1 hour, even less than 1 hour actually right now. So I will be very happy if anybody immediately want to talk to me and discuss something with me in this direction of discovery of the truth. No, in the direction of the knowing of the truth firsthand. No, Kiran, you can talk.
Namaste, Raji.
Namaste.
I'm just wanting to bow to you on Guru Purnima, and thank you so much.
Thank you.
I wrote today on Facebook that I was not looking for a guru, but I found one, and and I have no hesitation in saying that you have been true light and love. And today, on this day, just seeking your blessings, and also, as you have pointed, and as there is more residing in presence, this whole beautiful question of the fact that you are the guru and this is the guru, like this that you have always pointed to, and and the holding of that 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 oneness. I don't know what to say to that. Sometimes it's difficult to just put it into words. Just want to express gratitude and just request you to say something about what is this thing called guru.
Thank you, beloved, for being so thirsty of truth that you are not stopped at individual level, howsoever refined it is. No, so it is very beautiful for me also to meet you like this. No, I have my own way of saying things, and so I hope it will be all right if I express like this in response to what you are saying. I was just sharing with the recently with Prajot and Gina also that we prepare. No, we are preparing for something like this. We do on different occasions, preparing something for the guest. No, like this. And somehow I always used to wonder that who exactly is the guest. Because somehow I was able to see the unity of life in a very simplified way at a level of feeling, you can say, where I was not clear that okay, things are not so divided. I always used to wonder, and somehow it got resolved in me that actually you are the host. Obviously, you are hosting this party, this anything, anything that you are hosting. For example, you are hosting. But when you are doing meditation, what is this? It is hosting a party, for the guest called formless truth or something like this, no? And it does actually comes. The guest comes actually, but not from outside. It comes from inside. So the guest is your own deeper self, subtler self, still self, no? And the host, you, the dynamic self, you, the active self, can can arrange the party, the hosting in such a way that you become more and more present in what you are doing in the arrangements, whether it is a spiritual activity or it is whether it is decorating for your guru or anything like this, that you become so absorbed in that, you become so present in that 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 dynamic self that you are, that active self that you are, when becomes present, that is the climate in which the guest comes actually, because then you become the temple. Somehow you become the temple, and the guest always comes, the god always comes from within you, and that is the guru actually, for whom we all are, going down and doing everything, like this. So this what I shared actually, as per my feeling, gels very well with what you said actually. It has very same tone and flavor, no? What do you feel? Is this like nice?
It very much gels. The only thing is that I'm not able to distinguish the host and the guest somehow, and it's. I mean, I actually I don't think that's true to say I'm not able to distinguish, but it seems like sometimes I feel that what is here, yeah, is the host, like it's always here as the host. Somehow it seems like that, right? And what you said actually is that this dynamic self is the host, and the guest is more like you're welcoming the guru, this present moment from inside. No, that's what.
Yes. Actually, uh, you always have, as a dynamic self, as an individual self, you always have some capacity of doing, there is a doing energy in you, and that doing energy has to be consumed in this moment in doing what you are doing, and that becomes a prayer, that becomes a worship, that becomes a devotional activity, you know because the more you are saved, you save yourself from this activity of this moment, the more you feel distant or separate from the guest, which is your own subtlety, which is your own subtle self. The more you are consumed in this moment in doing what you are doing, the more it becomes a prayer, a, a call, or I would like to call it an environment where effortlessly the subtlemost truth reveals itself without effort. It is, by the way, revealing itself continuously. It is you, the individual self, absent actually. All you need to do is you need to be present, but not present like a meditation, because that's another form of frozenness. Not even present as seer or watcher or anything. Really present, normally present, like a human being, like a very ordinary being, like genuinely present, not present in a specific way. When you are genuinely present and consumed in this call or in this interest of being present, you are that climate in which truth is revealed to you. It's a bit of a paradox, and I know it cannot be understood, but it can be felt, and value can be given to try, like. And your inner climate is perfect to understand this, what I'm sharing with you right now. So the less you are, less you are left, you know, out of the activity that is happening right now, the higher chances are there for the truth to be revealed. So this is called sadhana, being present. There is no other sadhana except being present. If any sadhana is required, that is maybe to learn how to be present, or what seems to be in the way of being present. Then the host will meet the guest actually. But that meeting cannot survive for a long time, because host is the guest is the host. They are not two. Then you will understand one day, or maybe right now only, It was the guest who was arranging this party. There was no host. There was no host ever. It was the joy of the host, of the guest to 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 reach to that kind of party where it is welcomed by a host. So it created a false host out of its own self. All of this is revealed and known by us as truth, not as just a philosophy or an idea or a wave of emotion or something, a wave of devotional, energy or something. Genuinely, you naturally feel. So very good, very good. Nice to talk to you.
Thank you very much. Slowly, as I just turn around, I just want to say that everything around seems to be beloved, actually. Like everything, I'm doing my yoga in my balcony and the little plants, and I just bow down, like my daughter, my friends, I see that everything is that expression of this truth, actually, somehow.
Yes, it is. Just try to try to be alert about giving anything a form, because the beloved is formless, and thinking is a form, understanding is a form. You will don't get caught up in a understanding or a thinking about anything. Live it fresh, live it alive every day. And then when you find that yes, it is truth, beloved is in every form, live that form. Live that state or that truth. But don't freeze it in the memory that it should be felt the same tomorrow also. No. Because then otherwise you will get caught up in a form. The formless can live all the forms, not that the form can live the formless. When the formless is attached to the form, it becomes the host. This is the host. No. So just like this. Good to talk to you. Okay. I think Anna. Anyone else also can talk to me. Anna also wrote that. I hope Anna. Can I read this here, Anna? You write me please here that if I can read this here or not. Okay. You wrote Anna, most beloved Raji Guruji. I still cannot believe this miracle of miracles that brought me in your light. On this auspicious occasion of Guru Purnima, I wish to express so much gratitude, thanks and praise, and this little chat box is too small to contain it. This body is also too small, and this mind is too small. And all my experiences and emotions are also too small. May all the blessings of all the gods and goddesses shower on you today and every day. This is my prayer. Thank you, Anna. It's very, very sweet, no? Very beautiful. Thank you, beloved. I find Anna, it's very beautiful and heartfelt, no? And this is what I value so much. As you said, also, the words cannot really express this truth. And it cannot be understood at the mind level. We feel it in the heart, no, like this. I found that somebody who feels in the heart is benefited by, let's say, by our by meeting me, for example. And if they don't say anything, it's still so beautiful. And even if somebody doesn't really have met and was present in this truth, and they may say great words, and this means nothing really, you know. So I value the truth in your words so much. Thank you for this. Because of this, I'm happy that you are benefited, no? Really. Thank you, beloved. I genuinely feel very happy about it. Thank you. Okay, I think there is nobody who want to talk to me today. Then I can just enjoy my tea for some time. Sachin, so you want to talk? Yes, Sachin, please talk. Sachin, are you there?
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Thank you, Raji. Please accept my gratitude on Guru Purnima.
Thank you.
And I'm talking to you for the first time, but I have attended many sessions before, and I'm very grateful to whatever I'm learning with you. So I just want to know on the previous discussion we were having in the starting that we should be consumed in whatever we are doing. So what does my question is, how does that being consumed uh, different than being busy with something?
Uh, okay, I think it's a good question. No? I will actually like to give this example here, which very quickly can tell you things, and then we can explain, like explore also. That in Osho Ashram, no, we did this course for what training for this work as meditation, no, like this we did, and there they taught many skills like this, and one of them was that they gave us one piece of paper and a book, and that write as fast as you can and as much as you can within 5 minutes, like this. And then we all did, and then we closed, like we submitted that paper with our name on it. Then we were given another piece of paper that now write in a relaxed manner, in the sense that there is no hurry, enjoy writing, not that trying to write as much as you can or as fast as you can. And then we did that, and it was such a surprise actually, like except probably one person, like we were 20 people in that group that time. Only one person probably, or not even that, let's say, there was maybe, let's say, one person who was different or exception. Rest of the other people, what happened, that in the first version, when we were trying to write more, we actually wrote less. We made much more mistakes, and our handwriting was like horrible, you know, not readable, not pleasant, not nice to see or read, like this. In the second version, when we were asked that enjoy what you are doing, do, but enjoy what you are doing, like not enjoying like a child when you're just he's writing and then looking out a window for 15 minutes and writing for 1 minute. No, actually consumed, but not stressed. And then in that second version of relaxed manner of writing, we wrote much more than that, like almost like 30-40% more we wrote, and there were almost no mistakes, spelling mistakes, and the handwriting was beautiful, and at the end we were very peaceful also. Like we did the activity and we did not lose our peace also. And we felt more nourished somehow by the activity, like, as if some healing has happened, like we were like feeling like this. And then, so this is what I'm saying basically. This being present or being consumed in the activity and being busy is different. This being busy is a habitual way of doing things where we naturally get into sort of a state of stress, and a sense of hurry lives in us. And everybody has to find out why it is like this. I can only share maybe in a fundamental manner. And that somehow consumes most of our efficiency. The efficiency that is left with us is very little, actually. And the opposite of it is also seen in the meditator sometimes, when they are asked that just do things in a relaxed way, they just don't do anything, maybe also. So now I'm talking about something in between. When you're genuinely interested in doing something, then you feel like, why I have to be in a hurry? This trying to be in a hurry actually is more of a rejection of doing something actually at the fundamental level. Like we have a resistance for doing something, for example, work. Like almost most of the people or many people don't like their work. Like right now, I don't know, but I mean, at least 10 years back, 20 years back, it was like this, no? That we don't like our work, but we just do it so that we can earn money or something, maybe, no? So then we don't like our work, means there is a resistance, strong resistance for not doing it. And that is what is like pushing us to quickly finish it and go. And you cannot do a quality work out of that. You know what I mean? So this doing quality work is only possible when you kind of relax inside that inner conflict of yes for the work and no for the work, yes for doing and no for doing, that resolves somehow. You become more present naturally, that okay, I have decided to do it, why don't I do it well, and then somehow the amount of rework reduces so much, because we are doing so much rework in the whole life, whether it is professional life or individual life, even in spiritual life also. Like the whole life activities, we are doing so much rework. We are doing, undoing, doing, redoing, like this. Does it make sense what I'm sharing? Please tell me. If not, then
Yes, it is making sense. And I have one more follow-up question. So,
yeah,
like right now, I am listening to you. So I feel I'm consumed while listening to you because I'm listening to you and not doing nothing else.
yes,
But my confusion comes like maybe it's my wrong understanding. Like when I understand presence from you, it seems to me like you are witnessing yourself in what you are thinking and what you are doing, and for that witness to become active, I have to, as you mentioned, I have to freeze myself to see myself. So like while I was listening to you for last 5 minutes, if I have to see that listening, I have to freeze myself and not listen, right? And not get consumed in that. And when I am 100% with something, I am not able to be present in my witnessing. So
yes.
is that a right confusion or?
No, you're right. But it is just because of misunderstanding. Because in the beginning, we can take the seeing or being present as an activity. When you are consumed in another activity, how you can be consumed in this activity called trying to be present or trying to see, But there is a very beautiful news, very beautiful thing here, that if you are actually consumed in what you are doing, there is a capacity of seeing which just surfaces by itself. Like you don't have to try to see anything now. That natural witnessing or seeing kind of surfaces somehow, and you are able to notice this. Wow, like I am consumed in doing everything, something totally like a normal person, not like a spiritual person, like doing an activity like a very very normal person, like a normal human being, but totally consumed, not as a ego, normal like a normal being, but not as ego. Ego means inner conflict, of yes and no, and then somehow so naturally you feel like wow. So both these qualities of being fully consumed and witnessing or being present in that spiritual sense, both are present inside us, So it's not so much like uh, in conflict with each other, but activities are going to be in conflict with each other. If we take the seeing or being present as one activity, and then now another, like this, listening or doing anything else also. So it's sort of a knack you will learn slowly, maybe, So is this clear to you?
Yes, thank you. Yes.
Good. Very good. Try in small amounts and it will become clear to you.
Thank you.
Try in small amounts, because uh, mm, you should not take so much of a big decisions on the spiritual path like this, because we are doing some very fundamental work here, and we should not also prematurely conclude things. Let's be open. When you are interested, it's going to really happen. Like you are going to really understand these things. We don't need special knowledge for this, except that we need interest. Like right now, you are present or you are consumed in listening.
So I will still say consumed. I don't know if that is the right answer.
But if you are consumed right now, are you present or not? Meaning, just additionally, we are checking now that you are consumed is confirmed, that you are consumed. That is good. Are you present or not?
So my feeling always is, even now, like in this moment also, like uh, either I am consumed or I am present, right? So I'm not able to, even like when I'm speaking, I'm feeling consumed, and the minute I pause, I can be present. So it is something like that. Even when I'm listening, when I'm talking, whether even I'm like playing with my daughter sometimes, like I'm very enjoying the moment and being in the moment, but somehow I miss the witnessing part there, and I'm not able to figure out the difference between doing the witness and just being the witness, right? So
See, uh, what you are calling being present right now is more of witnessing. So don't mix these two things, first of all. These are totally different things. Being present and witnessing are totally different things at the level where we try to understand them. In reality, it is just all one thing. But in reality, everything is one anyway. Then why we have to do anything? So if we have to do something, then we must be very clear also about it, I feel. So you are mixing two things here, first of all. If you want to witness, obviously you cannot do anything, no? Witness means what? You have decided to just see and do nothing, no? At the level where we understand normally these things. So obviously, if you are consumed in doing something, how can you see? No. If you are participating, how can you just see? No. So that is totally fine. Your understanding is correct, and don't try to achieve both the things at the same time. I am talking about being present, not witnessing, which is a very different thing than witnessing. No, being present is a very different thing than witnessing. Actually, witnessing is a good point to start our spiritual journey towards awakening to who we are. Witnessing as an effort. No, witnessing is always going to be an aloof activity. Like you are aloof from what you are watching, no? What you are seeing, and being consumed is like being one with what you were watching previously. No. So these are two different things. So you can continue doing your watching or witnessing as and when you feel and if you find it useful. But right now, what I'm talking about is a very different thing. So let's keep it separate for now. So we don't talk about witnessing or seeing. We only talk about being consumed and being present. You know. You now tell me, when you are consumed, are you present or not?
so the example coming in my mind is like, say, if I am running or walking, so I'm consumed in running. So there is no way I can be running without being consumed.
Yeah.
So, or even to this speaking, right? When I'm speaking this to you, I am consumed in speaking. There is no other way not being consumed and speaking also.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to understand then what does this present mean if it is not witnessed, because my somehow maybe I am still understanding that my understanding from previous discussions was being present is to able to see clearly who is speaking and who is doing, and that is where I picked the word witness and make it a synonym with presence.
Yes. But I think maybe you missed one point here. That being present means you are able to witness and see everything clearly, but effortlessly, not as an activity. Because if you do it as an activity, how can you be consumed in what you are doing and also do the seeing or witnessing? Maybe you missed this point.
Yes.
I'm not talking about a effortful witnessing. So it is true that being present ultimately will result in a natural flowering of our inner quality called effortless witnessing or seeing things. No. But that is more of an inner quality that has to kind of surface or get integrated into our body mind level of existence, which has not happened yet. And how it will happen? Two ways. One is you start with the witnessing or seeing effort, like many people do, but then stick to that only, nothing else, more and more and more and more, and that somehow breaks a new ground inside ourselves where we discover something or something opens up, and like our deeper and outer kind of start integrating or something, you can say like this, no? The other one is what we are discussing right now. Another one, maybe many other way could be, but another way which I can see right now is what we are discussing right now. So right now, if you want to talk about presence, you have to understand freshly, not through the eyes of witnessing, because right now you will not find that quality of witnessing here yet. Although it is present, but you will not notice it yet because it is effortless. Because you are not doing it, so you feel that I'm not seeing. This I which is saying right now is not really your complete self. It is only your smaller self. No? So can we again try a little bit if you are interested?
Yes.
So now you are right now consumed in listening to me.
Yes.
Are you present also or not?
Um, so actually, I'm looking very freshly, but still, it seems to me that I have to take a pause to be present. Otherwise, I will not know whether I'm present or not.
That's
Like
okay.
and like I have seen many times, like when I watch TV, uh, and I'm like very engrossed with the story and what is happening, but I can still pause at my will and say and can see that I'm being engrossed, but not during when I'm engrossed watching something, right? So there is always a shift happening, and my question is, if somebody has to be present more and more, either it is possible through pauses, or what is the other way around, right? I mean, which not.
The way is what I'm trying to push a little bit. So give my way a little bit space
Yeah,
in you
yeah.
right now. When you pause, do you pause to notice that you are present, or do you pause to become present?
Uh,
So right now, when I ask you that you are consumed in listening to me or discussion with me, then when I ask you, are you present? So you have to pause to check. You have to pause to check that whether you are present or not. You have to change your mode into being present. It's a very subtle difference, and this is the point of change in you.
uh, to 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 check whether I'm present,
Yeah,
basically, right
and
now.
when you check right now, what did you find? Present or not?
Present.
Yeah. So this being present was a effort, or just checking was a effort?
Just checking was it.
So just keep checking in between. Remain consumed in something and just keep checking. Am I present or not? And this will resolve. This matter will resolve now. At some point, you will become clear that I don't have to check. Like I know for sure that I'm always present when I'm consumed in something. Like this. And even you will know this otherwise also. That when I'm not consumed, even then I'm present. Like so. Anyway, that maybe you find yourself. So now that you are saying that you are present, what it means to be present? Like, is it an effort to be present, or is it your state?
It is a state.
Yeah. So it is not like you are trying to be present. You are finding yourself present, no?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So this finding yourself present is your state, no? The effort is needed only for appreciation for it, versus
Yes.
appreciation appreciation of the detailing of what you are consumed in. Let's say maybe no. But then this is a very subtle work. There is not so much place for watching anything or detaching yourself from what you are doing and anything. No, it can be done in a very simplified way. No, in fact, as a matter of fact, if you are consumed in something, that works like a very nice contrast. to show you this, no? What do you feel? I hope you understand what I'm saying, no?
Yes.
This is what is being present. Discovering that I am present, not that becoming present, you know.
Yes.
This becoming present is only possible if you remain in the misunderstanding that you are not present and you keep trying to be present. Whenever you are trying to be present, you are actually enforcing the belief that you are not present. And whatever you do, without seeing that blind spot, you will keep fueling that belief only. And every effort will result in one way or the other in living that belief that I am not present, you know.
Yes.
So this is a simplified way of actually experiencing that when I'm consumed, am I present or not? And at some point, there is sort of a lock inside our mind at a fundamental level that will open up. Then you will not have to check again and again that I am present or not. And once that lock opens, very naturally you will feel more peaceful, energetic, wise, clear in your seeing. And after some time, that witnessing will also open up by itself, no? Because that level where activity can happen, the seeing cannot happen really, truly. Seeing can happen only as an activity, and that has to be turned off at some point. Like you do, and then you do not do. It cannot be a continuous seeing. No? And at the level, deeper level, from where the seeing happens, it is a effortless, continuous seeing, like a mirror actually, in a way. And a seer also into the mirror in a way, like this, like as if you are a mirror of awareness, and you are the seer of that into that mirror also. And you just keep enjoying the show, whatever comes and goes, almost like this. Maybe let's not give these things too much of form, and like this. So your job is to be actually more one at the level of activity. This is what I call being present. This is the host where the guest appears by itself from inside. And it is very beautiful also to be present actually, because you are more productive also, no? Like it's like doing a lot of work and achieving very little results, and a lot of stress and sense of discontentment is the way of ego, versus doing much less work, producing a lot of much more results, and continuously feeling a sense of contentment and resolve, like a resolve inside, like nice, and a joy growing more and more, and sense of satisfaction and sort of expandedness. Which version you would like? Obviously you would like the second version, no? So the second version can be achieved by being present more, not trying to be meditative or spiritual about it. Don't do that. You are already a spirit. Now don't try to color it through some golden color created by the mind or conditioning called spiritual presence or spiritual witnessing or anything. No, what do you feel? I hope I have not said too much.
No. It's making complete sense to me, and
Nice.
I think I missed the effortless part. Yes.
Yeah, we do in the beginning. That's okay. That's totally okay. Good. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, like we have now almost 15 minutes left for this meeting, and I think there is nobody online, but there is some message which I can read quickly. Yeah, just a moment. Yeah, Madhu, you could talk first quickly. Then I can take somebody, and then we end this meeting.
Actually, hello. Yeah, am I audible? Yeah, thank you. On this lovely occasion of Guru Purnima, thank you. On this auspicious occasion of Guru Purnima, I just thought if you can do this simple seeing with us again.
Simple seeing?
Yeah, because we were talking about presence and witnessing and effortless witnessing. So
that was a activity exercise. If you like, we can do something else together right now, because that is something different actually.
Okay. maybe you can take up the other question, and you can do this later on, or you can do it right now also, because the question was very nice, the talk between you and Sachin.
It was very nice.
So it
I
just
enjoyed
felt
also.
that why not have this effortless witnessing now only, effortless presence now only.
See, anything which is effortless obviously cannot be done. Please understand this. So if it is effortless, seeing, witnessing, or presence, how we will do it? No, please understand this. Let's be actual about these things now, because we are living in the pseudo, in the false understandings of the spirituality a lot. That I am trying to be effortlessly present. You know what I mean? I am trying to be to achieve the effortless seeing. Like you are not able to see a fault in your own thinking and way of doing. You know what I mean? So nothing effortless can be achieved through efforts, but something else can be done. You know. So let us not touch the effortless. That is a result of something. You know, that effortless is a result of something. Our preparedness, let's say, at the dynamic self level, that the effortless is revealed, or the effortlessness is revealed in us, or known by us, recognized by us. You know. So as I was talking to Sachin, that the effort of trying to be present actually is never a effort of trying to be present. It's a effort of trying to see and find that I am actually present. So the effort is a effort of appreciation for already being present. So this trying to be present actually must be a appreciation for the truth which is already there, that I am present. You know? And this appreciation is going to break that circle of mind where we are living in another state of ourself, where we feel that I am somebody who is sometime present and sometime not. Like I have different degrees of being present in things based on how interesting it is for me, or so on. You know, that is our mind knowledge only. That is the knowledge at the mind level about ourselves, which is that we are always present. You know? So effort can be only done in this direction of discovering the truth. Discovering the truth is always connected to two things. One is discovering what is already true, and also seeing clearly what is in the way. That is our false understanding about it. No? So I invite all of you right now for 5 minutes to not try to be present, but to find out, are you present or not? And if you find yourself to be present here, then appreciate it. Appreciate in the sense of live, feel like enjoying a cup of tea, like this. There is nothing spiritual about it in that way that you have to be in a specific way. No, you being present is already the truth, and it is already in its own way. You know. Now don't add more confusion to it by trying to understand. So this being present right now is facing the truth, not creating the truth. No? Like having this interest. It just takes this interest, that when you are interested right now to feel that I'm present or not. Maybe your definition of being present will be challenged here also, and let it be challenged, but remain single pointed, let's say. Yeah, actually I'm present, meaning I'm here. Like how can I say anything about here without being here? You naturally notice now. So all that is happening is that you are becoming free from spiritual conditioning. All that is happening is just you are becoming free from spiritual conditioning. That's all. Nothing is being added to you new. That what you are tasting was always there. Your capacity of tasting also was there. Interest was also there. That's why you were putting so many effort on the spiritual path. No? Maybe the understanding was incorrect. You, the being, it is you, you who is present. You know, this you who is present is what is called presence actually. So you are always present, and that means you are always presence also. No? So you are actually always presence, but do you appreciate this truth or not? That is what makes a difference between one being to another. No, but also that makes a difference in how we use our body mind, how well we live our life also actually. Because in opposition to that, this state of living our truth, that I am present or I am presence, that is the ego state. Opposite state is ego state, where we live through thoughts, we experience life through thoughts. No, we talk about other through thoughts, we think about other through thoughts, we think about ourselves also through thoughts. Why you have to think about yourself? Don't you exist when you are not thinking about yourself? This you existing without thinking about yourself is present or presence. Right now, don't think about yourself, but check, do you exist or not when you are not thinking about yourself? Check right now. Don't think about yourself. Don't think about anything spiritual right now at all. Witnessing, seeing, awareness, watching, anything. Don't think about any of these things. Don't do anything about these things also. Do you exist or not? Are you here or not? There, maybe it may feel a bit scary to some of you who are too much involved in the spiritual activity. I invite you to dare to let go of all your effort right now in the spiritual context and just see, are you present or not? Don't try to add anything to the truth of this moment about yourself. Don't try to remove any truth about yourself in this moment. Only live the truth of yourself right now, whatever it is, but not truth of your thoughts or feelings or sensations, but truth of you being here. This you being here is what is your truth actually. This is what is I am. I am. I exist. And this I exist, this I am, is not dependent on anything that you are doing. Whether you do anything or not, whether you do anything spiritual or non-spiritual, whether you think or do not think, whether you feel anything or do not feel, even if you are feeling peaceful, this presence that you are, I am, is also there. When you are not feeling peaceful, when you are feeling disturbed, even then the truth remains same, that I am. And this truth which remains same, that I am, this is peace itself. This is silence and joy itself. If you want permanent peace, then stay with this truth. Live this truth more and more. No? So that's all I wanted to share. So good. I'll just quickly read some message and then we end this meeting now. That there are some messages actually. I think I will not be able to read all the messages, my friends, because like we have less time. But let me try. Anna, you wrote that you had once explained, relaxed like a soldier moves from attention to at ease. So neither over casual nor tense. It is a neutral, almost no state. Yes, and slowly we will learn this, because if we become too relaxed, we go to sleep. If we become too alert, we become tense. So like this, you will learn somehow, somewhere in between. Like slowly, you will practice that neither tensed, like too much present. This too much present is also effort, no? Trying to be too much present or like this, and also not too relaxed. This too relaxed is also somehow in that way, like you have lost consciousness in a way. And when the body mind is going to sleep, you feel I'm going to sleep. Like this. So you have not lost consciousness. You are actually clear that I'm present, but you are neither stressful nor relaxed. Actually, in between. Because the state of presence that you are is a stateless state, because it is not affected by the body mind, actually, body mind states. So yes, you are right, Anna. Very nice, very well said. Rinku, you say happy Guru Purnima, Guruji. Um, Naman at your holy feet. Thank you, Rinku. Happy Guru Purnima. Yogesh, you wrote, Dear beloved Raji, my gratitude to you and all on Guru Purnima. Your interaction with Sachin was so beautiful. The ability to distinctly see about discovering presence and witnessing presence was so beautiful. Thank you so much. Yes, very nice. Thank you. Thank you that you could correlate. No, very nice. Then Kumar, you wrote, lots of love. Yeah, love you, Kumar. Dharma, you wrote, Dear Raji, dear beloved Raji, I bow down you with gratitude and thank you from bottom of my heart for being with me and showing me the way to my own heart. Thank you, beloved Dharma. I'm very happy to have you here like this, to walk with you a little bit. Thank you. Then Rahul, you wrote, my gratitude and love on Guru Purnima to you. Need your blessings. Thank you, beloved, for your love. And I share my love with you. This is the only thing I have, actually. So I share my love with you, beloved. Pragya, you wrote, gratitude, beloved Raji, all my love. Thank you, Pragya. Love, I love you also. Send you all my love. And then Dharma, you also wrote, I wish in coming times, the distance between two of us diminishes by God's own will. Much love. It's a very beautiful desire, no? But let's not take it spiritually. Let's take it truthfully. In truth, already it is so. So don't become that one who is waiting for this to finish. You finish, you dissolve. You will find only one truth, actually. You will find that this is already truth, my friend. You resolve yourself. Everything is already resolved. No? Like this, I want to say. Thank you, beloved. Devdas, you wrote, beloved Rajiji, happy and healthy Guru Purnima, beloved. Same to you, beloved Devdas. I'm forever grateful. You are saying I'm forever grateful for your graceful pointings and constant help for us to realize that we are already that you are. Pranams to you, beloved, with great love, Devda. Thank you, beloved. Yes, yes. This is what we are doing actually, because this is not so much of a activity field here. It's a field of realization. No, satsang is a field of realization. Like consistently, constantly, continuously. Every time, even if a bit by bit, maybe. But realizing, discovering, not creating or changing. No, very nice. Yogan, you wrote Charan Spas. Thank you, Yogan. Wish you like namaste to you too. And Devdas, you wrote, you are clarifying, and simplifying so much this journey, which seems difficult. Love and gratitude to you, beloved Raji. Thank you, beloved. it is a heart's way to simplify things, no? Mind complicates everything. Like mind complicates hell out of everything, actually. And I'm very happy that you are listening like this from yourself, no? Because heart is thirsty, it is crying for water, and mind is continuously checking for options and, you know, trying to reject continuously that no, this is not a good enough water, or this is like this, or this is like that, you know. At some point heart takes over. Devdas, heart takes over at some point when it is too thirsty. It says to the mind, to hell with you, to hell with your ideas, to hell with your understanding, to hell with your, you know, spiritual knowledges and goals. I want water right now, you know. That is the time when you transcend mind, actually. It is you, the heart, who supplies energy to the mind. And you regard so much to it that, okay, what it says is so important. You have power, not the mind. Like this. So I'm very happy, Devdas, that you are listening from the heart like this, and you know that what you want, not that your mind tells you what you want. No, very good, very good. Just last sip for this meeting, and then we end this meeting now. Thank you, beloved. Because so much spiritual, you know, exercise keep happening like this. That I feel like this, I see like this, I have to do like this. You know, like all of this is more of a play of the heart, which is it is doing through the mind. No, when you are thirsty, there is water. Get it, drink it. What philosophies are needed here? No? Only truth. Truth of thirst meets the truth of water. Like this. Let us keep things truthful, like mercilessly, and, you know, what you call bluntly, or there is some other word, no, that we use. Authentic and, you know, to the point. If you don't see any truth in any of the spiritual concepts, say that I don't see, you know, like this. That's a very good beginning point. No, rather than keep living in that lukewarm. Yeah, I'm in the presence. You know, whose presence? We don't think, you know, like this. So it is fine to enjoy spirituality in the mind, but it doesn't serve any purpose of giving something real. No, I feel this is good. I'm very happy to meet all of you, beloved. Thank you. In the end, I go down to my masters, and also I go down to all the masters who have happened and who are present. No, thank you, beloveds, for your existence in this life. It was very nice to have all of you here, my friends. I hope to see you again on next Sunday, maybe in a more like for 2 hours or something. Thank you.